lost a series here at the Rogers Center. They wish to avoid that possibility tonight on Sportsnet 1 by evening this set at a victory apiece. So let's send it up to the men who will call this game. Dan Shulman is with Joe Siddall.
Jamie, thank you very much. And all I think we know for sure tonight, Joe, is runs may be at a premium with this pitching matchup.
Well, Dylan Cease coming off the short stint on the injured list with that hamstring injury. That's good news for the Blue Jays as this rotation slowly gets back together. The changeup should be a big pitch for him. The Phillies are a tough challenge. 3 good left-handed hitters at the top of their order out of the first 4. Watch for that changeup. We know he's got the devastating slider, but that changeup could be an important pitch for him tonight. On the other side, it's another good one. It was Sanchez last night. Tonight, it is Zach Wheeler. And when he returned to this team, a little late start after shoulder surgery, and that recovery came back in late April, that's when this team really got back on track after a very tough start. We've heard John Schneider talk about out-teaming the other team. It's not just Wheeler tonight. It's the whole Phillies teams that play a much better brand of baseball.
And a bit of a wrinkle, maybe a larger than a bit of a wrinkle in the Blue Jay lineup. Vladimir Guerrero Jr. is in the leadoff spot tonight. We'll tell you more about that when the game begins. Jamie?
Yes, indeed, that is new, but he has been struggling a little bit, and the power is down. Let's see if he can rectify that problem tonight against Zach Wheeler and the Philadelphia Phillies on Sportsnet 1. Enjoy.
I am kind of at the same amount of screen time as they are. It definitely could be better. Putting down your phone gives your brain a break, allows you to be present, just get outside, breathe some fresh air, see the sun a little bit. I mean, it's very important for your health. My message to kids would be just enjoy your life without a screen.
The first ever all-electric Trail Seeker is the perfect EV for those who live for the trail, like me. I trail drive, I trail ride, I trail hike. I like my trail in the front, trailer on the back, and trails on my phone. At work, I trail off. And my favorite food? Trail mix. And that's why I need the most powerful,
With the best of them, he is the major league leader in home runs this year with 23 for a Phillies team that overall has not scored a lot of runs this season. They do have a couple of guys who have gotten hot, including Adolis Garcia down near the bottom of the order. He homered in his first at-bat in last night's game to get them out to an early lead. We'll see if Dylan Cease looks like himself. Missed 2 starts, basically the minimum 15-day stay on the IL, and everything he has said sounds like the hamstring is feeling good.
Making his 12th start of the season, and to start the month of May, Cease in 3 straight starts went 7 innings, and you know that is his goal. That's the goal of every starting pitcher. He pitched 5. We remember that game in New York, and then it was in the 5th inning when he was removed from that game against the Pirates. So always going deep will take a load off of that bullpen, and he'd love to help them out tonight. Defensively for the Blue Jays, Jesus Sanchez over in left field, just his 18th start over there this season. He started 30 times in right field. Nathan Lucas in center. Pinongo is in right for just his 7th start over there. Infield, Okamoto and Jimenez. Clement and Charles McAdoo gets his 2nd start of the season at first base with Lottie DH and Brendan Valenzuela back behind the dish.
So here's Schwarber. And again, not your typical leadoff hitter. Check swing, tapper foul, and it's 0-1. The major league leader in home runs. Walks a lot, does not generally hit for much of an average. Has 2 career home runs in 10 at-bats off Dylan Cease. You talk about an intense competitor, and Kyle Schwarber is right near the top of that list, and also viewed as one of the best teammates in Major League Baseball.
Blue Jays were able to hold him down for the most part last night. He did walk and single, but also some tremendous bat speed from their leadoff hitter.
1-2. So Cease starting the game, slider, changeup, slider. And slider's always been a big weapon for him. You talked about mixing in the changeup here and there against the left-handed batters. Bounces it in 2-2.
Just another weapon for Dylan against left-handed hitters. That changeup can just give him another different speed range, different movement profile. We know that that slider is his bread and butter. Opponents hitting just 130 against that slider this year. That's second best in baseball.
Up high with a fastball. It's full.
See his reaction there. He wanted to go high, I think, with that pitch, but not that high. It became an uncompetitive pitch against a hitter with a pretty good eye.
Yeah, very good eye. 100 or more walks each of the last 3 seasons and 41 already this year. Fastball hit very high in the air to center. Lots of room out there as Lucas drifts into left center to make the catch. 1 down. So Cease gets the leadoff man, and now it'll be Trey Turner. Just shy of 33 years of age, and a very unusual season for Turner. The numbers way down from his career norms. This one hit off the end of the bat that shatters, and it drops in fair. And Turner, who still has very good speed, slides into second with an excuse me broken bat double.
He will exchange that double for the bat that was in his hands as a first pitch slider from Cease right out there on the outside edge, and it's off the end of the bat, and that thing is kindling wood, but he will take it.
Good spot for the slider. Can't fault Cease. Just Turner fighting some green, as they say, down the right field line. Now here's Bryce Harper, who chases a slider. It gets away from Valenzuela, and what should be scored a wild pitch is going to advance Turner to third.
That's such a big play early in the ball game. As a catcher, you want to make sure you're smothering this baseball and keeping it right in front of you. See how it hits off of his glove. You really want to bury that glove in between your legs to cover the 5-hole.
And now the Blue Jays bring the infield in here in the first inning. Swing and a miss. 0-2. Another sharp slider. Harper's only had 3 plate appearances against Cease, 2 outs and a walk. Cease tried it again. This time Harper wouldn't chase that slider down. Harper productive this year, 14 home runs so far. An .866 OPS. Turner at third, 1 out. And the 1-2 pitch. Looked like the slower breaking ball there. Maybe a sweeper that bounces in, ball 2.
Well, Dylan Cease showing confidence in his young catcher too. The first one got away, but he went ahead and bounced 2 more breaking balls in the dirt, and Valenzuela's done a nice job on those 2. We've seen him do a good job blocking balls at times, others getting away.
And he gets him with a good fastball for out number 2.
Soft spin, a lot of soft and spin, and then you blow the number 1 right by him at the top of the zone.
Strikeouts are brought to you by Subway. Get 25% off any footlong on game days. Order in the Subway app using code STRIKEOut. So 2 down. The infielders can back up, although Okamoto is going to stay even with a bag at third. And here's Brandon Marsh, who is having by far the best season of his career. Look at those numbers. A .333 average, hitting for some power, a very good OPS. Like a changeup there that missed inside. It's 2-0.
There's that changeup that could be an effective pitch. He pulled it a little bit. CC shaking his head. He's talking to himself right there. He knows it was the right pitch. That's what he wanted, but he wants that pitch arm side more, fading away from the left-handed batter.
Maybe he's shaking a bit of rust off, right? First time off the IL. Slider's working pretty well, though.
That's always a go-to for Cease, especially against a guy like Marsh. Most hitters that are enjoying seasons like he is are hitting everything, but he's doing far more damage against the fastballs.
Vladimir Guerrero Jr., the leadoff hitter tonight, getting ready for his at-bat. This one line into the right field corner, a fair ball. And Marsh is on his way to second with an RBI double. The Phillies have the early 1-0 lead.
Well, there is good proof of what Brandon Marsh is doing this season. Hits a slider down in the zone, down and in, and he golfs it out of there.
So the bloop double, the wild pitch, but then a solid double there for Marsh. 1-0 Phillies. And here's the third baseman, Alec Bohm, swinging the bat better in recent weeks after a very slow start to the season. Down to a knee as he chases that high fastball and comes up empty. Slipped a little bit.
Well, we touched on the open about Zach Wheeler, and when he returned to the team, they started winning baseball games. So the pitching drastically improved. The lineup, it's coming around. It's still not that Phillies lineup that you expect to see.
The production does not match some of the names. I mean, some of the guys are having big years, but overall, when you just look at the lineup, you would have expected that the Phillies would have scored more runs than they have this year. Don Mattingly, the interim manager of the Phillies. Rob Thompson let go about 6 weeks ago, I guess now. So Mattingly, of course, the former bench coach of the Blue Jays. Now the interim manager. His son Preston is the general manager of the Phillies. The Phillies are 28-12 in their last 40 games. Sent foul out of play. Just to finish the thought on the offense for the Phillies, they're actually behind the Blue Jays in terms of runs scored. Barely, but that gives you an idea that they have been struggling to score, because you know the Blue Jays have been struggling to score this year. The Blue Jays are actually just a touch ahead of them.
Numbers wise, similar teams in terms of pitching and offensively.
Another 1-2 on the way, and it's poked down the line, foul again. And the Phillies are making Cease work right now. He's already had to throw 21 pitches here this inning.
Wondering if he's not doing him a favor by spinning the baseball. I like the fastballs early in the count. Looked like they were getting by him, but now you're slowing it up with the spin, trying to get him to chase. Back to the heater.
Got him. Threw him that two-seamer down below the knees. Bohm comes up empty. A couple of strikeouts, but also a run for the Phillies. Guerrero is going to lead it off.
Closed captioning is brought to you.
Vladimir Guerrero Jr. will be the leadoff man, and the first one came on the final day of the 24 season. The Blue Jays were out of it. Vladdy had 199 hits. They were just trying to help him get to 200. He didn't get there. But John Schneider saying he just wants to shake things up for Guerrero, see if that can help. Don't need to shake things up for Ernie Clement. Boy, has he been swinging the bat great. 2 hits, including another home run last night. Sanchez, Piñango, 4-5. Valenzuela in the 6th spot. Charles McAdoo getting his start tonight. And 36-year-old Zach Wheeler off to a great start this year on the mound for the Phillies.
Wheeler in his 12th big league season was a little late going after shoulder surgery in the offseason. Didn't get going till the end of April, but 5-1 now with a 2.31 ERA in his 8 starts. Trending up. The velocity is coming back. It's getting back to being the Wheeler that we're accustomed to seeing. And these righties, like Vladdy, should see a lot of sinkers in, 4-seamers out of the top, and that big sweeper away.
And you can see the movement that he's got. That was his 4-seamer, but it moves as well. The 2-seamer more. Got a lot of different weapons. Guerrero 0 for 14 his last 4 games. As he takes one inside. John Schneider told us before the game, Guerrero has said to him, I'll hit wherever you want me to hit. He is open. It sounds like Vladdy is open to any and all suggestions to try to get this thing figured out. Changing the batting order, maybe it works, maybe it doesn't. It's not a magic potion or anything like that. It's about swinging at the right pitches and As we have heard so many times, getting your A swing off as often as you can. The bat goes flying as the ball winds up foul. There's an example, and listen, it's really hard to hit, but that's a breaking ball right down the middle of the plate. What did you see on that swing?
It's right there, and it's again, you saw that sinker that he ran in before that. Wheeler's got a very low arm angle. Now, just because the bat flips out of your hand, that can happen to anybody at any time. But we've seen this with Vladdy. We've seen him chase out of the zone a lot, but we've also seen him miss pitches that he should be hammering. And that's that timing that's certainly just not in sync.
2-2 the count. Down the right field line, but foul. 97 on that pitch from Wheeler. You mentioned the thoracic outlet surgery, had a blood clot in his shoulder last August, surgery last September, so a bit of a late start. Coming back from that this year. Inside and it's full. Like a good leadoff man. Vladdy making him throw a lot of pitches, giving Nathan Lucas a good look.
Wheeler has a very low arm angle, and that's where you see that movement. Even that four-seamer you referred to earlier, you're going to get that movement in toward that right-handed batter. But he will like to live around the top rail of that zone with his four-seamer.
A high chopper back towards the mound. Wheeler gathers and gets him. One down. David Hopkins, as always, taking notes as the at-bats happen. One down here in the bottom of the first, and here's Nathan Lucas. And John Schneider said, listen, don't read too much into Guerrero leading off. Maybe he's there tomorrow, maybe he's not. George Springer's not in the lineup. We'll see, assuming George is back in there tomorrow, where he's hitting. But right now with Springer struggling and Guerrero struggling, I think, and everybody understands this, you got to be open to any and all suggestions.
Yep, and I think that could be one of the suggestions, maybe with the lefty Luzardo on the mound tomorrow. Vladdy gets a hit or two today. Maybe he's back there and George is down in the order. Yeah. Who knows? We'll see, but they've got to get things going here. We're getting close to the middle of June.
Right, but you look at it now. Lucas is swinging the bat well. Ernie Clement's on deck. He's swinging the bat great. Jesus Sanchez is swinging the bat well. Yohendrick Pinango's swinging it well. Brandon Valenzuela is swinging it great. Like, there are a lot of guys doing what they can do, but they need the big boys to do what they can.
Absolutely.
Right? Yeah.
These guys can help carry the load for a little while, but you can't depend on them to carry the heavy load. That's what the big boys have to do. And until Springer and Vladdy get going, and of course, maybe Kirk can contribute when he gets back. Maybe Barger when he gets back, if he can contribute. These guys are doing their part, but you need the big boys to do the big boy things. It's like asking the Philadelphia Phillies for Bryson Stott to carry the load, for Real Muto at 36 years old to help carry the load offensively. Very difficult.
A 2-2 count on Nathan Lucas. And he rolls it up the middle and through for a base hit. So a man on for Ernie Clement, who finds himself in the 3 spot today. And why not the way he's swinging the bat?
Well, it hasn't seen many pitches that he does not like, and he will chase the ball up, down, and out, but he also makes some pretty good contact, and he is in a pretty good zone. When you hit a home run off Christopher Sanchez, you are doing something right, and he got that pitch up in the zone enough that he knew that he could handle that sinker from the left-hander.
First guy to hit a home run off Sanchez since April, right?
Wow.
He's got 7 already. An average over 300. That is 4th in the American League. Sanchez good again last night. One of the very best there is. 0-2 on Clement. This is the first time this year Clement is starting a game in the 3 spot. He's hit 1, 2, 5, 6, 7, and 8 at various points this season.
There is that 4-seam fastball that we should see a number of those from Wheeler at the top of the zone. Ernie He can get to it. He's able to get to it to foul off and buy himself another one.
Lucas the lead, and he laid off that breaking ball outside. Yango getting a little bit of information from Lou Ionati. Not only is this the first time this year Ernie Clement is hitting third in the lineup, it's the first time in his major league career he starts a game hitting third in the order. The only spot he had yet to hit in. He's hit cleanup twice. Maybe a lefty on the mound and put it wherever you want to right now. Did he go? And yes, he did. And he had started walking back to the dugout. He held up twice, Joe, but he couldn't do it a third time.
Well, it's a big break that Wheeler gets on that sweeper, and from what I have been told, it's getting even bigger as he's gotten healthier in his return from the injury. You see the nod there from Real Muto. That pitch behaving just the way he wanted it to.
So 2 down. Lucas still at first, and here is Jesus Sanchez hitting .286 on the season. Wow. I mean, that ball might have hit him had he not swung at it. And you see a swing like that, and it makes you think he was going to swing no matter what was coming to the plate.
I think he was looking for a 4-seam fastball, thought he got it, but it's a cutter. It just kept coming in there. Almost hit his back shoulder. Sometimes you go up against a guy like Wheeler, and if you think he may go first pitch fastball, you just sell out. And I don't doubt Sanchez was doing what you said. Think fastball, look for it. If I get it, I'm hacking.
Chases another one up and out of the zone. That's the 4-seamer again, but 6-7 inches above the belt.
Way too high.
Maybe more than that. Bounced up the middle, backhanded by Stott, and he'll make the play unassisted at second to end the inning.
Welcome back. With Dylan Cease back in the rotation and Max Scherzer set to do the same tomorrow, Spencer Miles becomes the odd man out and returns to the bullpen. And that was the main focus of a lengthy conversation Miles had with pitching coach Pete Walker in the outfield yesterday. Walker told me that when Miles was the bulk inning guy, they asked him to stick to his normal routine as a reliever because at some point he was probably returning to the pen. It was important to let Miles know they're going to find spots to utilize him, that he may pitch in some higher leverage at times because his stuff is so good and he's already proven to them that he can handle the tough situations. So he's not just going to be a long guy, or as Walker put it, quote, the forgotten guy in the bullpen. Miles told me he appreciated the candid conversation as much as he'd like to start, and most guys do. He understands his role and will always do what's best for the team. Guys?
Hazel, thank you. And down the road, off season next year, maybe that's another conversation as maybe they reconsider going forward whether Miles is a starter. But certainly, as Hazel said, Joe, he has proven himself. If you need him to eat up 3 or 4 innings, he can do that. What if they're up by a run going to the 6th? You can bring him in for the 6th and 7th. Like, I think they feel comfortable using him in just about any situation right now. As Stott golfs one to deep center, but Lucas corrals it on the track. And Miles has proven, you know, that he's got the fortitude to go out there and pitch in difficult situations. And now with him and Simeon Woods Richardson, who went 4 impressive innings in his Blue Jay debut last night, I don't think they're going to get caught nearly as much with this guy's down and that guy's down, and do we have enough arms to get through the game? Like, they've got some coverage right now, some length in that bullpen.
Yeah, Spencer Miles has learned quickly in his big league career that when you pitch really well, you have a lot of value, and he provides a lot of value to this Blue Jays pitching staff in any role. I don't doubt we see him for a 1-inning shot, whether it's the 6th or 7th, top of the order, critical time of the game. He's built for that. That's not a problem. If you need 2 or 3, that would be there. That's a nice problem to have for a young man that I'm sure they want to make sure they continue to watch that workload throughout the course of the year. And I wouldn't doubt we show up in Dunedin next spring, and he is in a rotation fighting for a spot.
No swing, says Willie Traynor, the first base umpire. It's 2-1 on 35-year-old JT Realmuto, who signed a new 3-year deal in the offseason to remain with the Phillies. A 3-time All-Star, but that's going back a few years now. As Cease a little bit frustrated again. Missed inside with that two-seamer. He's fallen behind 3-1. Tapped foul, full count. Adolis Garcia in the on-deck circle for the Phillies. The early home run off Patrick Corbin in last night's game. With Cease tonight and then Scherzer tomorrow, along with Gausman and Yasavage and Corbin, the Blue Jays now have 5 starting pitchers, and that's why they can have some length in the bullpen. Miles moving there, Woods Richardson providing that as well. Swing and a miss. Went with the fastball to get him. 2 down.
Well, Dylan Cease has the 4-seam fastball, and he's also got the sinker. We saw him get Bohm with the sinker to end the first inning. This is the 4-seamer right at the top of the zone. He just blows it by Realmuto.
Third strikeout of the game for Cease, and now here is Garcia hitting just 200, but hot the last week or so, both for average and for power. Former Texas Ranger signed a 1-year deal in the offseason to come to Philadelphia. Cease misses high again.
Well, on the hitting front, it was Realmuto, who we just saw, Garcia and Kyle Schwarber, that they all signed. Those were the bats that they signed to come back to Philly this season, along with Brad Keller on the pitching side. For Garcia, it just has not worked out just yet.
A ton of power, but streaky, got some holes, but when he gets hot, he can do a lot of damage.
Hit 30 home runs twice for the Rangers. There's a lot of power in there. We saw it last night. He hit a 2-1 slider down in the zone for Patrick Corbin into the seats and left.
Another good fastball from Cease. And it gets the Phillies in order with a couple of strikeouts here in the top of the second. He's now got 4 Ks through his first 2 innings of work. The Blue Jays saw Skeens recently, saw Sale recently, saw Sanchez last night. They're seeing Wheeler tonight. They actually missed Skubal. He was out and didn't face the Blue Jays then, but they've just been in one of these stretches where they have seen a lot of the better arms. Sometimes they have done some of their best work against some of those really good arms. You know, had some chances here and there against Sanchez, but he shut them down. But they're going to have some really good at-bats to do a fair bit of damage against Wheeler.
Well, it's quite a 1-2 punch that the Phillies have at the top of their rotation with Sanchez and Wheeler. Blue Jays get both of them. Tomorrow's Jesus Luzardo, another fine left-hander. Really, their struggles have been at the back end with the young kid Painter and Aaron Nola trying to come back from injury.
Yohendrick Pinango will lead it off. Line a ball to center field, and he's got himself a leadoff base hit as he just continues to square up baseballs and come up with hits.
It's a good approach against a very good pitcher. Look for a fastball early in the count. He gets a good one to hit, and he puts a very good swing on it. See, he's got a small forward move to the baseball, but then it just stops, and that's when the backside fires through. Beautiful swing.
Last night had 3 at-bats or 3 plate appearances. Drove in a run with a ground ball, which may not sound like much, but remember the Blue Jays could not do that. Had a couple of chances at it in the 6th inning. Had a double off Sanchez and then drew a walk. And now here's Valenzuela. Hits one right to Stott out at second. And just like that, it's a double play.
And this is why Zach Wheeler can be so good. He's got a couple of different fastballs, but he goes first pitch cutter. So watch, as a hitter, you think this is a fastball right there. It's at the top of the zone, but at the very end, it's got that little cut, and it's at 92. So it's not the 95 or 96. It just throws you off a hair. Valenzuela's just out front as a left-handed batter. It's out front, rolling it over on the ground.
Hitting in the 7th spot tonight, Kazuma Okamoto. Hitting .231, the club leader in homers and RBIs, as he has been for several weeks now. The first 2 batters each swung at the first pitch, so Wheeler only had to throw 2 pitches to get the first 2 outs. Okamoto was taking a couple to make it 2-0. That's called high, ball 3. And a strike near the outside edge, 3-1. Dylan Cease, Pete Walker talking over the game plan for the top of the 3rd. He's looked like himself so far, wouldn't you say?
Yep, fastball looks like it's got a lot of life.
Okamoto hits it pretty well to the opposite field, and it's going to drop. Garcia had it in his glove, but could not squeeze it, and that'll be a 2-out double for Okamoto.
Good plate appearance by Okamoto. Takes a couple of pitches early, making Wheeler work a little bit, and he gets this sinker in a very good spot. Driving it deep to right. Garcia tried to time that jump. Looked like it caught the wall first.
Yeah, my mistake. Hit the wall before it nicked his glove. So just enough on it for Okamoto to get it beyond the outstretched arm of Garcia. And now he's at second with 2 down for Andres Jimenez.
Okamoto flied out deep to right center last night on a very good swing from a sinker from Christopher Sanchez. Very similar looking swing. That, I think, is a good spot for Okamoto to be. Gets him back on the baseball.
Jimenez went 1 for 4 last night. Had a double down the left field line in the 9th inning off Phillies closer Joan Duran, which is not an easy thing to do. As you can see, he has done some of his best work in this type of a situation. So he's got 30 RBIs already on the season. Ooh, and that appeared to get him, and it did. Right arm, right hand, maybe. Yeah, maybe down near the hand, the way he is shaking it out. He is heading down to first, but John Schneider and Jose Ministral saying not so fast.
Four-seam fastball. You see that grip, and that's just true spin. He just does not get the hand out of the way as that ball just rides in on the left-handed hitter.
And thank goodness he's got a little extra padding on the back of that right hand. That might have been the difference. Smiling about it with Mark Budzinski, so he's all right. So they're trying to get something going here with 2 outs. At the very least, Joe, they're going to turn the lineup over, because here comes the number 9 hitter, Charles McAdoo, making his 4th start. He has had 1 hit in each of the first 3 games. He is 3 for 11 with a home run in his very young big league career. I'm sure if you had asked McAdoo, he might have guessed he'd probably be in there last night against the lefty, and Sanchez not in there tonight. But you take the playing time when you get it, obviously, especially when you're as new to the big leagues as he is. And he's had pretty good at bats so far. He's handled himself well. Got to deal with an 0-2 count here.
Back-to-back sinkers from Wheeler, and this is what he will do now. I would think, if for sure against a young hitter, probably spin some balls away now using that sweeper.
Up and away with a fastball, ball 1. A base hit, then a double play ball, but then a double by Okamoto. Jimenez hit by a pitch, and it's 1-2 on McAdoo. Low 2-2. Real Muto looked like he was, you're going to call that a strike, aren't you? But
wow.
No such call from Alex Tosi and no challenge from Real Muto.
Good eye, Charles.
Now the 2-2 and a swing and a miss to end the inning. The Blue Jays get 3 men on at some point in this inning, but cannot score. Phase 1 voting for the All-Star game this year, which by the way is in Philadelphia. It is open now through June 25th, and fans can vote up to 5 times per day. Cast your vote today at bluejays.com/vote. And when you're casting that vote, keep in mind, and you can take my word for it or look it up yourself, Ernie Clement has been the best second baseman in the American League this year, and in many regards it's not even close when you look at the numbers. I think it'd be really cool to see Ernie Clement representing the Blue Jays at the All-Star game. I think Louis Varland's going no matter what, but you don't vote for pitchers. You only vote for position players. So I'm sure, Joe, that Blue Jay fans from coast to coast to coast are going to get to work on that.
Get to work. And as you said, that's not your opinion. Those are facts.
The numbers are the numbers.
Back it up. A great thing for Ernie too, coming off his postseason and how he performed in October. It's just amazing that he's able to continue this right on into the 2026 season.
0-2 the count on Justin Crawford, the number 9 hitter and the center fielder for the Phillies. The son of Carl Crawford, longtime Tampa Bay Ray, Boston Red Sox as well. And like his dad, Justin has very good speed. Want to keep him off the bases. Soft liner caught by Jimenez for out number 1.
Get game-changing internet and Canada's most reliable internet. Rogers Xfinity. We got you.
Top of the third, 1-0 Phillies. A bloop double and then a well-hit double to score the run for the Phillies in the first. Here's Kyle Schwarber getting his second look at Dylan Cease, who drops a curveball in for called strike 1. Schwarber with a fly ball to center in the first.
Boy, if Cease could drop that curveball in against lefties as a first pitch strike, that's a freebie.
And then a changeup for a called strike, but again, not really where he wants to throw the changeup to a left-handed batter.
Not ideal, but he got away with it. Coming inside now.
And he strikes him out. 3 pitches to get Schwarber.
Well, you know, with Schwarber, there is some swing and miss. The strikeouts will be there. But it's just so dangerous if he connects. And after the 2 slow pitches, he sped it up. Blew it right by him.
Dylan Cease looking very much like the guy that he was before he went on the IL. Here's a ground ball up the middle, charging Jimenez. Turner still runs well, but Jimenez will get him. And that's a very quick 1-2-3, top of the third for Dylan Cease. Jr. wasn't hitting for a lot of power. He was hitting over 350, the OPS over 900. He was really contributing. Just the offense had a different shape to it. But over the last 6 weeks or so, Joe, the power has not come back, and also the hard hit has gone down. The average has gone down. The chase has gone up. I think we can say with relative certainty this is the biggest slump Guerrero has had as a big league ball player.
It certainly is. This is the worst, I would say, version of Vladdy we have seen. And as a hitter, it doesn't matter who you are. That snowball starts rolling down the hill. And I think when the struggles started, you start chasing hits, you start working on different things, trying different things, and then you're all out of whack. Then you're chasing more. We've seen a lot more of that. And I think, too, opposing pitchers have done it to Vladdy a bit as well, because they know, they said, we're not going to challenge him in the zone a little bit as much this year. Make him expand, and he has been obliging, and that's not a good thing.
His chase rate is up significantly from last year, and then sometimes taking good pitches to hit. Now, might have been sitting on something else in the first pitch of this AB. Ground ball to third. Long throw by Bohm, and Guerrero's going to field hit as the throw pulls Harper off the bag, and Guerrero celebrating a little bit. That snaps an 0 for 15.
Well, this is probably a mistake by Bohm. I think he's got time. Once he gloved this baseball, set your feet. You've got time to throw it across the diamond. And instead, Bohm felt the need to hurry, and he makes an off-balance throw, and it's not on the mark. Vladdy will take it. The Blue Jays will take it. But that's a mistake by the third baseman.
Now well inside with a cutter, ball one to Nathan Lucas, who bounced one up the middle for a base hit in the first. So the Blue Jays, Joe, have sent 10 men to the plate, and 5 of them have reached. 4 singles and a hit batter, but they haven't scored yet. That's a better cutter right there from Wheeler. That is no fun for Lucas.
It seems to be his MO against left-handed batters. You'll see the four-seamer up, the splitter down, but he'll run that cutter up and in. He's done it to Sanchez pretty effectively as well.
A check on Guerrero. Vladdy does have 5 steals on the season. If I had told you that on June the 9th, Vladimir Guerrero Jr. would have more stolen bases than home runs.
Jeez. It's hard to believe. You'd like to keep thinking that because of who he is and because of what he has done, it's going to come around. Logic says that. It's just the part that's hard to fathom is because it's such a good hitter that it's taking this long to be in the middle of June.
Assumes his lead again at first. Lucas trying to battle here with a count 1-2. Too high, and it's 2-2. And they are making Wheeler throw some pitches here, some deep counts. He's up to 44, still looking for his first out in the third. Decent hole on the right side with Harper holding on Guerrero. And this one looks like it's going to get out of play down the third baseline, and it will. So with the base hit in the first, Lucas has now appeared in 14 games since he has come off the IL, and he's had at least 1 hit in 13 of those 14 games. Up the middle, and a diving stop. Turner flipped to second for 1, and that's it. Lucas reaches on a fielder's choice.
Oh, what a nice play by Trey Turner, taking a base hit away from Lucas. This ball was headed into center field, and he knew once he came up with the baseball, just make a good backhand toss to your second baseman. You're not turning 2, but he does an outstanding job getting the lead runner.
Stott avoiding the sliding Guerrero on the play. So 1 on, 1 out, and that'll bring up Ernie Clement, who struck out against Wheeler in the first. To right center field, but Garcia is over to make the catch. Out number 2. So Ernie now 0 for 2, and now Sanchez will come up. Bounced into a fielder's choice to end the first. Remember, chased a couple of pitches way out of the strike zone. A cutter up and in, then a four-seamer that was very high. We'll see how Wheeler attacks him here in this second at bat.
It looked like the clear game plan. Interesting, the first pitch splitter there, but the clear game plan in the first at bat was fastballs up and cutters up and in, really crowding him. Wouldn't doubt they'd go to that now again after the splitter.
So that's interesting. There's Brandon Valenzuela. He's 2 spots away from hitting. But while you have a moment, Brandon, Pete Walker needs to talk to you about what he wants Dylan Cease to do with Harper, Marsh, and Bohm the next inning.
That is the life of a catcher right there in a nutshell, right in front of our eyes. So many spring trainings where catchers, you're catching all of these bullpen sessions, and when you catch a bullpen session, it's not just catching, it's the communication during the session, it's talking to the pitching coach and pitcher after the session. Oh, and by the way, catchers, yeah, group 2, you're hitting here in 3 minutes on field 4. Remember those days.
This is hit down the right field line and into the corner. Garcia giving chase, and Lucas is going to be held at third on the double by Sanchez.
I think Nathan Lucas was wisely held at third. Garcia did an outstanding job in right field, getting to that ball quickly, fielding it cleanly, and he's got a very strong throwing arm, and he throws it right to his cutoff man. And Carlos Feblis, the third base coach, is watching all of this transpire. Right fielder picks it up cleanly, good strong throw to the cutoff man, and he's got no chance at sending him right there.
So second and third, 2 down. Can they get a big 2-out hit here from Yohendrick Pinango? Almost hit him. That cutter has had a mind of its own sometimes tonight from Zach Wheeler. Pinango had a base hit. Good line drive. Swing, single into center back in the second. Takes a sweeper for a strike, 1-1. Wheeler's got a lot of toys in the toy box.
He certainly does. Both fastballs. We talked about the 4-seamer at the top and that sinker that he'll use. Sanchez hit the splitter. Surprised he didn't go back up with the hard stuff.
Good take there, up and away, ball 2. I don't think we've seen at the plate anyways a moment of rookie anxiety from Pinango. There have been issues in the field, that is obvious, but at the plate he has looked like a guy with more experience under his belt. On the corner, 2-2. Looked like he thought the left hand was thinking about, do I tap, do I challenge, but it's a strike, 2-2.
It's a tough place for a cutter for a left-handed batter from a right-handed pitcher. That was the Chris Bassett special last year.
And he swings and misses a curveball. Another offering there from Wheeler, and the Blue Jays leave 2 more men on. Here's a fun one for the kids. Build your own Blue Jays buddy piece by piece with a Potato Head specialty ticket. On June 25th, specialty ticket purchasers will receive a Blue Jays Potato Head. Buy your specialty tickets now at bluejays.com/promotions. Dylan Stack. Sure. Ready for liftoff, and whether it's 75, 80, 85 remains to be seen how many pitches he's got, but that he feels ready to go, physically good. No swing.
And as all starting pitchers, I was talking about Max a little bit later on, was about the length and being able to be out there, and he knows, and watching, and all starting pitchers, they want to go deep to try to help that bullpen out.
Strike 3 called. Harper challenging.
Pitch is called a strike. Batter challenging.
This closer look is brought to you by Specsavers. And it is a successful challenge for Bryce Harper. That ball is just inside, so it's now full.
Well, that was that sinker that he tried to bring back just to catch that inside corner, and it just missed.
That's been a good pitch for him at times this year. He's used that a lot against lefties. And Harper's still alive.
This is a funny play for a catcher because it's a foul tip. If you can catch it, it's strike three. Watch Valenzuela here. He misses right here, but he wants to chase it down. He wants to dive out there and catch it in the air and say, ah.
Ripped past a diving McAdoo at first, and that'll be a base hit for Harper.
Fastball trying to go away, see where the target is, and he missed middle in, and Bryce Harper was all over that one.
Leadoff single here in the fourth, and now Marsh, who doubled in the only run of the game, lined one into the right field corner with a runner at third, 2 down, back in the top of the first. And the changeup started to become a bigger piece of the conversation right now.
That could be too. That second time through the order. Another look for these hitters. Change it up a little bit. That's why it's nice to have multiple weapons as a starting pitcher.
And that's a foul tip, says Alex Tosi. No argument from Marsh. It's 0-2. Too high, ball one.
I had said earlier in his first at bat that he handles the fastball a lot better than the breaker, and he hit a slider into the right field corner. See if Cease stays hard this time.
Sliced foul. Little Philly fanatic of admit there. The best mascot in baseball.
Oh my goodness. Love the oven mitt. Just don't want it to get any longer than that. Let's keep it limited.
Swung on and missed. And Cease gets Marsh way out in front to get him 6 strikeouts.
I didn't expect to see the changeup as a put-away pitch, but what a sequence from Cease here. There's that changeup grip with a lot of his hand on the baseball, and we talked about that changeup being an important pitch for him tonight against these lefties at the top of the lineup, and there's one very big one against Marsh.
Strikeout number 6, and with 1 out, here's Alec Boehm, who struck out in the first. Off the outside corner, ball 1. Boehm, a former first-round pick, 3rd overall, in fact. Throw down to first, but diving back in safely is Harper. Little communication there between Valenzuela and McAdoo on that play.
Valenzuela coming up with a right-handed batter. You've got lots of freedom there. And there are times when you don't even need a sign with your first baseman because he's holding the runner on. They're heads up right after the pitch. Could just be a little eye contact at times. Maybe I touch the right side of my pants and the catcher grabs a little dirt and throws it in your direction.
McAdoo getting his 2nd start at first base. He's made his other 2 at second base. And in the minors, the position McAdoo played the most was third base, but we have seen him taking a lot of ground balls at second, taking a lot of ground balls at first. In effect, he is the utility infielder, if you want to say it that way. So Carlos Fable is doing a lot of work with him all around the infield, so he can be as versatile as possible. Curveball low, 2-2 on Boehm. Swing and a miss, and Cease gets Bohm again.
Got that slider out there and got him to expand. You want to stay outside against Bohm, and Cease did a good job with that pitch, making sure it's just off the edge.
7 strikeouts now for Cease through 3 2/3. Here's Bryson Stott, who hit a fly ball to the warning track in center. His first time up. Goes after the high heater and comes up empty. Cease at 98 on that one. Some very good signs here in the return of Dylan Cease. You never know quite what you're going to get, quite how he's going to feel coming off the IL, but he looks a lot like Dylan Cease. Popped up, foul territory, should be playable. Okamoto makes the catch. So far, so good for Dylan Cease. 4 strong innings in his return off the IL. Can the Blue Jays offense start cashing him in offensively?
Big leagues, he talked to me about his approach at the plate and that his body was lunging forward a little bit more uncontrolled, and he wanted to slow things down to keep his head a little bit more still. So it's got rid of the leg kick, and now it's just a short stride, but the body moves forward, but it stops immediately, and you really see that good pullback. And when I mean pullback is you're really almost striding out there, and then as that backside fires through, you're almost pulling the front side back. It's much more controlled. And has it ever paid dividends? It's one thing to work on something, make an adjustment at the major league level, but to execute it the way Valenzuela has over this time has been very impressive.
He grounded into a double play in the second. He'll get it started here in the bottom of the 4th with Kaz Okamoto and Andres Jimenez coming up behind him. The Blue Jays have 5 hits through 3 innings off Zach Wheeler, but they have stranded 4 men. Actually make it 5. They have stranded 5 through the first 3 innings. So they have had the lion's share of the chances, but haven't been able to cash in yet. A fastball for a strike, and it's 0-1. Kirk is DHing with Buffalo tonight. John Schneider telling us he's expected to catch both tomorrow night and Thursday. As Valenzuela pops one up very shallow right, Stott gives way to Garcia. So Kirk is playing tonight. He's DHing in Buffalo, supposed to catch at least part of the games tomorrow and Thursday, and then could theoretically rejoin the Blue Jays to open up the series against the Yankees on Friday. Blue Jays have an off day Thursday.
So many roster moves happening. One today with the addition of Dylan Cease, Max Scherzer tomorrow. Alejandro Kirk coming back makes the catching situation very interesting. But that young man has done more than his share to say, hey, I'm a big leaguer.
Absolutely. And it was Adam Macko who was optioned down to Buffalo. So the Blue Jays are going with just 1 lefty out of the bullpen. And right away, and I think this was fairly obvious, but John Schneider said it was circumstance, not performance, that dictated the move. Some guys have options, some guys don't. Simeon Woods Richardson did himself a lot of good with that 4-inning outing that he had in his Blue Jay debut last night. They'll have to find another roster spot as Max Scherzer rejoins the team tomorrow. And the moves will keep on coming. Shane Bieber could be just 1 or 2 more rehab starts away.
And with Macko going down, that leaves Fluharty as the only lefty down in that bullpen. Now Schneider feels he's got some righties that can handle left-handed hitters. Sure, probably wasn't going to pitch tonight anyway, but tomorrow with the left-handed bats in this Phillies lineup and the Yankees coming to town, very interesting. I was a little surprised by that move.
Hey, we know that guy.
Jimmy
Garcia is here. He is expected to pitch in Buffalo tomorrow night as Okamoto goes after one down low and strikes out. Garcia is going to make his 2nd rehab outing at AAA tomorrow, and it's kind of outing by outing. How does he feel? How does he look? What's the velo? How does he feel the next day? But boy, if they could get that healthy, high leverage version of that guy back in the bullpen, obviously that would necessitate another roster move, but what a boost at the back end of the pen that would be. Jimenez was hit by a pitch in the second. George Springer not in the lineup tonight, chatting up with Miles Straw in the dugout. Dalton Varsho and Tyler Heineman, the other guys on the bench tonight. Varsho had an MRI on his wrist today, which John Schneider said was good, and they're just still got some soreness in there though, and Schneider said they are trying like heck to avoid an IL stint right now for Varsho, so the next couple of days will be big in that regard. Ball one down low, 1-2 on Jimenez. All right. Playful Vladdy is a good sign, right? You like playful Vladdy. We haven't seen nearly as much of that this year, obviously, with some of the struggles. That's taken some of the playfulness away.
Wheeler equally tough on left-handed hitters, just like the righties, and you can see why when he rushes that fastball up there. We've seen the cutters in. He's got the splitter as a weapon, dive down and away. He's got a slower curveball. So many different things to have to think about.
And he gets Jimenez. That is Wheeler's 5th strikeout of the night, and it's still 1-0 Phillies now at the end of 4.
Welcome back. As we mentioned, Don Mattingly back in town, and when he was with the Blue Jays, John Schneider said Mattingly brought experience, a quiet swagger, a very calming, confident presence, and he was a valuable sounding board for Schneider. And if guys needed it, though, he could get loud and sometimes get after it with them. He came in here expecting to win every night. Schneider said he'll never take credit for this Phillies turnaround. He is just a good human being and a good baseball guy. Dan.
Hazel, thank you. Just like Rob Thompson, and unfortunately for Thompson, it didn't go well at the beginning of the year, and he was let go. Don Mattingly moved from bench coach to interim manager. I think both of those they have a lot in common in terms of their personalities. I think they're both understated, low-key guys, really good people. John Schneider as well, really good person. But talking about Thompson and Mattingly, I know, we've all gotten to know Rob very well over the years, right? Being from not too far away from here, Corunna, Ontario, and wishing him the very best in the future. I mean, that is a class act and then some. And unfortunately, the team didn't play well the first few weeks. Wheeler wasn't on the team then yet, as you mentioned, and Thompson paid the price, but hopefully he stays in the game, gets back into the game in whatever capacity he wants to.
That's the thing. Sometimes when managers get fired, it's the same guy that took him to the postseason last year. It's the same guy that took him to the postseason the last 4 years. He didn't forget how to manage, that's for sure. But when the players don't perform, unfortunately, it's the manager that takes the hit. And in this case, it's Rob Thompson, and David Dabrowski went to Don Mattingly, and they've righted the ship. They started pitching a lot better. That helps. It also helps to get a Zach Wheeler back. So you've got two guys at the top of the rotation really doing it, and the bullpen is solid as well.
Swing and a miss to get Real Muto, and Dylan Cease piling up the strikeouts. That's 8.
Getting a lot of use of that fastball tonight. There's that 4-seam fastball. It's just off those seams a hair, but really gets behind that baseball well.
Adolis Garcia, who struck out his first time up, takes just down and away for ball 1.
When you have the ability to bury the sliders down and away to the righties and then elevate that 4-seam fastball, what a mix.
Joe, Dylan Cease already has 23 swings and misses tonight. Like, you could have a really good game and have 14, 16, 18 over like 7 innings. He's got 23 swings and misses tonight. They've swung 39 times and missed 23 of those 39 times.
It's about a 60% whiff rate, isn't it?
There's another one. Like, well, this is in numerical context, but for context, that's crazy. A 60% swing and miss rate. That doesn't happen.
And he's doing it with all of his pitches.
Yeah.
That's what's even more remarkable. Doesn't matter what he's using.
Tried to bust him in, didn't miss by much. 2-2. He's gotten 5 swings on his changeup, and they've missed all 5. He's gotten 6 swings on the slider, 8 on the 4-seamer, 3 on the sinker, and 1 on the curve.
And that's what a different pitcher he is now. Since he came to the Blue Jays, he has all of these weapons, primarily a 4-seam fastball slider pitcher before this season.
Strike 3 called to get Garcia for strikeout number 9.
And now the hitters at times have no idea what's coming. You look for the heater, you get a slider. You look for the slider, you get a changeup.
Justin Crawford had a soft liner to short his first time up. Another swing and a miss at a changeup, and it's 1-1. Cease has now overtaken Gavin Williams for the American League lead in strikeouts. Back to the mound, and a nice play. The underhand toss to McAdoo. And Dylan Cease is rolling right now. To the bottom of the 5th, Blue Jays coming up. Let's get an update with Jamie Campbell.
Thank you, Dan. Here is the in-game tracker brought to you by Bet365. Off to Cleveland. You can see Angel Martinez grounding this one to first. He's quick enough that he beats Garrett Cole to the bag, and that allows DeLauder to come in and score for Cleveland. Cole was fine, and that game right now knotted at 2. Top of the 5th, tied with the Yankees atop the American League East, the Tampa Bay Rays, and this is Richie Palacios with a base hit off Peyton Tolley. Adds another run for Tampa Bay, make it 4-1. Bottom of the 7th at Tropicana Field. And the major league leader in home runs since May 25th as a team, the Seattle Mariners. Mitch Garver's just added another one. That blast gives Seattle a 3-1 advantage down in Baltimore. That is the in-game tracker brought to you by Bet365, home of the 5-run early payout. Download the app today.
The Blue Jays winning inning. When they get a hit in the winning inning, it's your chance to win. This inning, when the Blue Jays get a hit, you could win big with Rogers Beyond the Sea. Bottom of the 5th, and it's still 1-0 Phillies. Here's Charles McAdoo, who struck out in the 2nd. He's in the 9th spot tonight, so it'll be Vladimir Guerrero Jr. and then Nathan Lucas following him. Down low, a ball and a strike. .70 pitches now for Wheeler. A couple of pitches into the bottom of the 5th inning. And a 2-hopper out to Stott. Easy play for the Phillies second baseman, 1 down. As you said, pretty good 1-2 combo with Christopher Sanchez and Zach Wheeler. I think there are a handful of other teams who could say, yeah, we could put our 2 guys up against these 2 guys, but they are certainly in the conversation.
Absolutely. And what we saw from Sanchez last night against these top starters, you have to take advantage of any door that opens. And unfortunately, again tonight, the Blue Jays have had some chances but have not been able to capitalize.
Vladimir Guerrero Jr. swings through an inside 2-seamer. It's 0-1. Guerrero had an infield hit his last time up, so he is 1 for 2.
Sinker running in, four-seamer away. Now he's got Vladdy looking to both sides of the plate.
If you didn't know the numbers belong to Guerrero and you look at them, you would say, oh, maybe this guy is a leadoff hitter, hitting for a pretty good average, taking a lot of walks, barely striking out, but not very much power at all, stealing a few bases. It's just so strange. Down to third, Bohm to his left, spins, fires, and gets him. Vladdy now 1 for 3.
That's what he can do after those first two fastballs. He went back-to-back sweepers off the end of the bat. Bohm comes up with it. This time throws it over there with a little more certainty, knowing that he's got time.
6 in a row now set down by Wheeler as Nathan Lucas steps in. Lucas 1 for 2, had a base hit in the first. One run, 3 hits for the Phillies, no runs, 5 hits for the Blue Jays. Cutter up and in, sent foul down the right field line.
And that's what you have to do as a left-handed hitter. You have to show him that you can get to that four-seamer up and in there, or that cutter up and in there, and force him back away. But you get to it, it's foul. Now you may have bought yourself a splitter down and away. And this is why we talk about how Cease, why he's so tough. Well, Wheeler's same on the other side.
Missed inside, 2-2. Lucas stays alive. His at-bats feel so consistent.
Yeah.
Like you just know what you're going to get when he's up there. He might win, he might lose, but it's always a battle.
And that's why last night when he was batting second against Christopher Sanchez, I asked him during batting practice, like, what do you do? He's so tough on lefties. And he literally said, like, battle.
Yeah.
You just battle, you compete. And here it is. This is what he does all the time.
He's a grinder, right? He's got a grinder mentality. It took him forever to get a look in the major leagues, and then even to get regular playing time, it took a while here with the Blue Jays. He's obviously made the most of it. But even as the success has come, he's never lost that grinder mentality.
Yep. It's the style of player that he is. He's not going to wow you with power into the seats.
As I'm paraphrasing here, but John Schneider often says, like, be good at what you are good at. Nathan Lucas knows what he is good at, and he doesn't try to do different things. He tries to do what he's good at. And this is one of the things he's good at.
And it's very valuable to his team.
(3-2) from Wheeler. Grounder out to second. Stott has it. And 3 ground ball outs for Wheeler. 7 in a row set down, and it's still 1-0 Phils. Well, another big giveaway coming your way tomorrow night, and the Dylan Cease theme continues. The first 50,000 fans of the ballpark tomorrow will receive a Dylan Cease bobblehead. Get your tickets now at BlueJays.com/promotions. Max Scherzer and Jesus Luzardo, the pitching matchup tomorrow night, the final game of this 3-game series. Top of the order for the Phillies here in the 6th. Kyle Schwarber 0 for 2. A fly ball to center and a strikeout. Signed a 5-year deal in the offseason to remain a Philly. 33 years old, signed a 5-year deal. There are a lot of older players on the team. They're really good players, but Wheeler's 36, Nola's 33, Schwarber's 33, Turner's almost 33, Harper's 32, 33.
One of the oldest teams in baseball, especially on the pitching side, or I'm sorry, on the hitting side.
1-2. Dave Dombrowski always in attendance when his team is on the road, looking on. Very talented team, but an older team. They're playing good right now. They're playing well right now. Can they find a way to
right now? But when I asked him about that yesterday, he said, Joe, early part of the season, awful. We were awful, hard to watch, awful. And it's amazing, like he knew that what he put together, you give it time. And if we keep talking about Wheeler coming back the end of April there when things really turned.
And another strikeout for Cease. That's 10. Let's go to Hazel.
Dan, I asked Pete Walker if he had any concerns with Cease's hamstring first time out. He said Cease had a great side session. He threw well in Buffalo. As far as how he felt, results weren't perfect, but they're happy with his velo. His slider shape was good. Really just a matter of getting Cease back into a groove. So the hamstring, as far as Walker is concerned, not an issue. And Cease, he said, was really looking forward to coming back. Guys?
Good to hear, and the results have been there. Again, if the offense had been able to do a little bit more or something against Wheeler, we'd be talking about this Cease start in even more glowing terms. I think what he is doing right now is remarkable. He's gotten 27 swings and misses. His career high is 29. Ground ball to short. Jimenez will get rid of it in time to get Turner 2 down. The 25 swings and misses through 5 innings ties the most that any pitcher has had through 5 innings in a game this year. And the guy who he now shares that mark with is Jacob Mizorowski, because of course it is. You throw 104, you're going to get some swings and misses.
The Miz.
Shane Bieber expected to start Thursday for Buffalo as he gets closer. Bryce Harper, a strikeout and a base hit, 1 for 2. The shame of it for Cease was that broken bat double by Turner back in the first shattered the bat and just happened to land about 6 inches fair, and then that eventually led to the run as Marsh doubled him in. But for that, this would be a scoreless game right now.
On one of those great sliders, down and away, good spot. Those are the things you do not have control over. What you do have control over is trying to put up a couple of runs on the Phillies. Cease is begging for that right about now.
And looks like John Schneider just asked Pete Walker to get somebody up in the bullpen. Cease nearing 90. And remember, this is his first start back, and he's a horse. He likes to get as deep into the game as he can, not afraid to throw a lot of pitches, but obviously they don't want him to do too much too soon in his return from the IL. Up and in, ball 4, and that is the first walk in the ball game.
Yep.
And the phone call was for Braden Fisher.
Both pitchers been all over the zone tonight.
Seeing more and more Louis Varland jerseys around the ballpark.
Pretty good seat right there.
Yeah, it is.
Good view.
Here's Brandon Marsh, doubled in the run in the first, as we mentioned, then struck out in the fourth. Oh, 0-2, still throwing 98 here in the 6th inning. Runner goes, and a swing and a miss. He strikes out Marsh again, and an outstanding outing for Dylan Cease. 6 innings, just 1 run allowed, and 11 strikeouts. They're tied at 2 tonight, and Joe Spencer Jones has hit his first major league home run, and that's a guy the Yankees are going to count on a little bit with Aaron Judge out for at least several weeks. Yankees are coming here Friday.
We've seen that swing. There's a lot of miss, but boy, when he connects, it's something.
Ernie Clement, Jesus Sanchez, and Yohendrick Pinango, the 3-4-5 hitters in the lineup tonight. Ernie pulls a one-hopper down to third. Bones sets his feet and gets him. Dylan Cease, Pete Walker, little walking, little talking. Don't know if Cease is done yet. Jeff Hoffman is now up in the bullpen.
The way Jeff is throwing in the bullpen looks to me like he's getting ready to enter a ball game. We shall see.
And Cease is at 93 pitches, and again, first start off the IL. He threw, I think, 75 in his last, or 73 maybe, in his outing with Buffalo. So as we said, you don't want to push him too hard. What an incredible outing he had.
Excellent. It's not just what the Blue Jays needed, it's just a good indication moving forward that he's back to being Dylan Cease. Remember, I told you he started the month of May with a few.
Sanchez, fly ball, right field. It is gone. And this ball game is tied. Number 7 for Sanchez, and his second extra base hit of the game. This one clears the fence and gives the Blue Jays their first run of the night.
Something tells me the conversation in the dugout that we saw earlier, it was Jesus Sanchez with Lou Ionati in the iPad. If he's going to keep throwing you up there and in there, get ready for it. And he was ready. That was a cutter up and in. He had seen a bunch of them. He got the barrel to this one.
So Sanchez ties it. Pinango up now. He's 1 for 2. Wheeler had set down 8 in a row with a Sanchez double, the last hit before the Sanchez homer. That is a good splitter. 0-2. And he jammed him. Weekly hit back to the mound. Easy play for Wheeler. 2 down.
Well, Wheeler's been successful with this pitch tonight, but it's a cutter, and that low arm angle, it stayed a little flatter, and it didn't quite get in as much as he wanted. And Jesus Sanchez was ready for it. We know about the bat speed, we know about the pop in the bat, but we haven't seen him, quote, taking shots, as his manager likes to say. Well, I think he took a shot there, and he got it, all of it.
Hi, Mom. Hi, Mom.
Here's Brandon Valenzuela. Valenzuela, double play ground ball, and then a fly ball to shallow right. Chased it. 1-1. We have not seen very much of that from Valenzuela. Saw a little bit of it early, but then the walks climbed, the chase went down. He's done a really good job controlling at bats as much as he can.
And pitchers like this will do that to hitters on occasion.
George Springer getting a little bit of information from Sanchez after that homer. Up and in. 3-1. Wheeler's got to be getting near the end too, right? 94 pitches, and there is activity in the Phillies pen. It is right-hander Orion Kerkering. Well, kind of as we expected off the top. Runs at a premium with these two starting pitchers. The split at 3-1 and in a perfect spot.
That's a tough sequence after you get that fastball up and in. 3-1, you're thinking I'm getting another fastball maybe out over the plate, but it's the splitter down. Confidence in that pitch to throw it in that count.
Up in the air, shallow left, and it's Marsh to make the catch. But the Blue Jays have tied it. One more look. Jesus Sanchez getting all of this up and in cutter from Zach Wheeler, sending it out to right, and it's now a 1-1 game. Good.
Well, the spotlight was certainly on Dylan Cease coming into this ball game off of the injured list. It was a short stint, but did he ever come back and make an impression? 11 strikeouts on the night, and most impressively, the variety of pitches that he did it with. The four-seamers up, the sliders were excellent all night. Really worked in the changeup to the left-handed hitters that second time through the order. He even mixed in a sinker in there. A lot of weapons, a lot of tools in the toolbox, and he was using them all tonight.
Now 103 strikeouts on the season. Here is Jeff Hoffman, a former Philly, of course, had a couple of great years with the Phillies in a 23 and 24, an all-star one of those years. He comes on in a tie game to face the 5, 6, 7 hitters. Alec Bohm, Bryson Stott, JT Realmuto, all guys who were teammates of Hoffman. Was talking to him before the game. His kids, I think his boys are 7 and 6. They're still buddies with a lot of they got older players, right? A lot of them have kids, and some of the Phillies, I believe, have their families and kids here. So the Hoffman boys are running around with some of their old friends, but it's all business once you get on the mound. Slider for strike one. To the mound. Helps to be 6'5", 6'6", doesn't it? Good play by Hoffman. One down.
Get ahead with the slider, locate a fastball on the edge of the plate. Nice little sequence right there from Hoffman, and defending his position very well.
Now Bryson Stott, who is 0 for 2. That looked pretty good, but must have come in just a little bit high, and there's no challenge there from Valenzuela. It's ball one.
Have we had a challenge?
We have not.
I don't think so.
Yeah, each of these. Did we? Oh, yes, we did have one. I'm sorry. A successful challenge by Bryce Harper. That's
yes.
right. Yep. So they both got 2 remaining. McAdoo and Valenzuela over for a look near the Phillies dugout, and the ball cannot be caught. It was Valenzuela who went after it and unable to squeeze it.
Well, we said Charles McAdoo, not a lot of experience at first base. Coming over here, you'd love for him to take this for the catcher. As a catcher, you have to go for everything, but you want your first baseman getting there as quickly as possible. Very tough play for the catcher with that angle going more on the side, whereas the first baseman, you're coming more into that baseball. McAdoo, I think, a little tentative, didn't go at it aggressively.
We saw one of these between Valenzuela and Guerrero, an almost identical play a few days back.
If it lands by that railing or on the field of play, it has to be caught.
At the knees for a called strike, 1 and 2.
There are times with a right-handed batter that the first baseman's way over where his position's way is a longer way to go.
98 right there, fouled back. ground ball out to short. Jimenez backhands, fires, and just does get him. And Don Mattingly's got his hand extended. That was awfully close. Stott runs well. And let's see if the Phillies want to have a look at it. They do.
Stott runs well, and Jimenez had to go to his right. Took a little extra time right there, and he may have taken a little too much.
And we've always talked about, Jimenez.
Philadelphia is challenging the out call at first base.
Having a great game clock in his head, and he does. Everybody says that about him. But you're right, just that tiny little hesitation may have been the difference.
And I'm surprised by that a little bit from Jimenez. He knows the speed of Bryson Stott. We all know the speed of Bryson Stott. That's the play where you range to your right and you get rid of it really quickly.
So you're talking about two different instances in this at bat when, had everything been done properly, Stott's retired, but now he might wind up at first base.
After review, the field is overturned. The runner is safe. Philadelphia will retain their challenge.
And that's really too bad because Hoffman made an excellent pitch through a splitter down in the zone in a really good spot. Got himself a ground ball.
And little things in close games aren't little things. Stott aboard with one out, and now here's JT Realmuto. We'll see if Hoffman can pitch around this.
Keep an eye on the base runner now. I know Hoffman is very susceptible to the stolen base.
Stott's 11 for 11 this year.
It may not take him long to take his shot. You've got a great arm in behind the plate in Valenzuela, but a catcher can only do so much.
Hoffman will check on him.
First pitch strike is such a big pitch because it leaves the pitch out as an option here. Let's see if the Blue Jays employ it. He looks like he's antsy.
Not going. And it's strike two called. Mason Fluharty now up in the bullpen. And the Phillies have some lefties 2 spots away. Stott not going, and it's down and away, ball 1.
I'm surprised he hasn't taken his shot yet, and then with 2 strikes, maybe you count on another slider. With his speed and Hoffman's delivery, it's got the makings of a stolen base. Not going.
And a swing and a miss. Hoffman will get Realmuto for out number 2. And he just kept staying with that slider down and away.
Very well located, stayed in the bottom of the zone with those pitches.
That is the second out. And now it'll be Hoffman facing Adolis Garcia. That one sails up and in into the backstop. Garcia fortunately got out of the way of it. Stott to second on the wild pitch.
Talk about a pitch getting away just through all of those sliders to Realmuto. Can't get a hold of his fastball.
So now the go-ahead run in scoring position with 2 outs here in the 7th. Chased a slider, 1-1. Timeout requested by Garcia. This is probably last batter one way or another for Hoffman. A left-handed batter, Justin Crawford, is on deck. Fluharty is looking on from the bullpen. Staying with the slider, fouled off, and might have shaken up Valenzuela just a bit. 1-2.
Hoffman doing a good job locating those sliders.
Fastball to get him. 99 from Jeff Hoffman. One of 2 strikeouts in the inning, stranding that runner. Celebration, a familiar face is back at the ballpark. On June 24th, the first 15,000 fans receive a vintage-style cap featuring Domer the Turtle. Buy your tickets now at BlueJays.com/promotions. A 1-1 tie here in this one, and Don Mattingly has gone to the bullpen now with the right-hander Orion Kerkering entering the game.
And he's been very good. 3 scoreless innings in the month of June to get this month started, but 2.22 ERA on the season in his 27 games. And you'll get a lot of sweepers to these right-handed batters to go with his sinking fastball and 4-seamer.
Sweeper like that, but he missed down and away. Ball 1 to Kaz Okamoto, who doubled off the right field wall in the second and then struck out in the fourth. In there at the knees, 1-1. Little catching session with Drew Butera. Back to the sweeper and in there for a strike. 1-2. So Brandon Valenzuela talks to the catching coach, talks to the pitching coach, talks to the hitting coach.
There's a lot on the go.
Yep. Okamoto strikes out. Down to Hazel.
Dan, Jeff Hoffman said when Trey Savage exploded onto the postseason scene, it reminded him of former Phillies teammate Orion Kerkering. You see, Kerkering came up, made 3 appearances before the playoffs, and then earned a spot on the Phillies playoff roster in 23. He pitched some big innings for us in October, so I've seen that kind of performance in the postseason. Not quite at the level Savage performed at, according to Hoffman, but Kerkering, he felt, had a bright future ahead of him. Dan.
Hazel, thank you. And that's what you need. Like for the Blue Jays, you could say, look at what Fisher and Fluharty did last year in the regular season and then into the postseason. The good teams always seem to have 3, 4, 5 guys where maybe you weren't counting on them or they hadn't made themselves known yet at the beginning of the year, but an injury happens, an opening happens, and they come up and seize a spot. That's foul. 1-2.
Kerkering has had 2 good big league seasons. He's in his 3rd. 60+ games in each of the last 2 years.
Big strikeout numbers recently. The Sanchez home run, the only run of the night for the Blue Jays so far. He's also doubled in this game. Another strikeout for Kerkering. 2 down. You've talked about it. Caleb talked about it last week as well. Jimenez seeing a steady diet of fastballs up and out away from him and having trouble either laying off or catching up.
Certainly a zone that opponents have continued to attack.
Charles McAdoo 0 for 2, a strikeout and a ground out. Foul back out of play. His first major league at bat, which was in Baltimore, if memory serves, it felt like the whole thing was going really fast for him. But after that first at bat, he has settled in and looks like he's been up longer than just a couple of weeks.
And it's tough because you're in AAA, playing a lot, playing every day, and you get up here and the at-bats are a little bit more few and far between. Not easy playing part-time and you're accustomed to playing every day.
Not easy when you find out your spot starts against Zach Wheeler. Could be in there tomorrow, right? Lefty on the mound. Luzardo very well could be back in there again tomorrow night. Takes it outside.
You can see him leaking a little bit early there. We see that from Okamoto at times, and with that sweeper from Kerkering, you just have to stay in there.
Leaking meaning opening up?
Opening up, yes. Very closed stance.
Challenge. Charles McAdoo thought that one was low.
Batter challenging.
I think this is the first time he's challenged in the big leagues.
A lot of sink on that pitch.
Hitting the ball. Toronto, 2 challenges remaining.
All right. So it's a full count, and the Blue Jays still have 2 challenges remaining.
Lots of movement on that pitch, and he said that's too much. He's right.
Little dribbler goes foul.
This is a veteran move by a very savvy catcher. Watch how JT Realmuto picks up this baseball. First he waits for it to roll foul, but he gives the umpire a line of vision right here. He gets out of the way. Mr. Umpire, you can see that clearly. Yeah. Very well done. Very subtle move by a guy that makes sure that that umpire. You've seen catchers pick up balls like that are close to the line, or third baseman, and they call it fair. They're like, what do you mean it's fair? So you want to make sure that umpire behind you has a good, clear look.
Guerrero, who's in the leadoff spot, waiting on deck. It remains 3-2 on McAdoo as Alex Tosi does a little dusting of the plate.
Sometimes a ball hits so hard right there. I think that's the ball off the bat there, and it'll imprint into the dirt. And as a catcher, you want to smooth that over too in case you have to block a ball.
Folks, if you have any questions about infield dirt or groundskeeping, Joe Siddall is your man. It is his hidden passion.
You got to keep the plate area clean. You don't want divots. You don't want any marks. Guy throws the ball in the dirt, and if it hits it.
Is your front yard at home impeccable?
No, no. It's about baseball diamonds.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean,
it doesn't translate to your house.
We love our yard, but
a pop-up for Stott. Garcia calls him off and comes way in to make the catch. And we're through 7 now, but this game still tied at 1. And time now for a Blue Jays Central update with Jamie Campbell and Kevin Pillar. Open this summer, the outfield district is where you want to be. Your ticket unlocks general admission access to the ballpark and fan favorite neighborhoods like the Corona rooftop patio and the WestJet flight deck. Outfield district tickets are available now at bluejays.com/outfield district. Tied at 1. Outstanding performances by both Zach Wheeler of the Phillies and Dylan Cease of the Blue Jays. Cease struck out 11 in 6 innings. Jeff Hoffman had a nice 7th inning, couple of strikeouts. And now here's Mason Fluharty. It was to have been Justin Crawford, but Don Mattingly has set up a pinch hitter, the right-hand hitting Edmundo Sosa. Sweeper for strike 1.
For Fluharty, his 34 appearances is tied for the major league lead. This guy has been used an awful lot over his last 18. Just 2 earned runs in 14 innings, striking out 31% of the batters he's facing.
And so with Adam Macko optioned down to Buffalo, it's not like they can use Fluharty any more than they've already been using Fluharty. He leads the majors in appearances. They can't push him any harder than that. It just means there will be times they might not have a lefty available at all out of the bullpen.
Yeah, if Dylan Cease doesn't go 6 innings, you may have needed him earlier.
Fly ball to left field, and Sanchez will make the play 1 down.
That's the benefit. You may need a lefty in the 6th inning to get out of a mess with a pocket full of lefties, but then you want your leverage guy a little later when it happens again. Now you only have that 1 chance.
And I'm sure Macko is going to find his way back. Again, John Schneider said it was circumstance, not performance, that led to the demotion. They need another spot for Max Scherzer tomorrow. Line drive left center field, and Lucas there in plenty of time, and that's a very dangerous hitter, and Kyle Schwarber retired on 1 pitch. Remember, Fluharty got optioned once last year, and again it was circumstance, not performance.
Yeah.
Sometimes you get caught in a numbers games, or you need some length, or you're the guy who's got options, or whatever it is. Trey Turner, the batter.
We hear a lot of different things. We hear it's about performance. It's about who's doing well and what. Bottom line is, you're playing the long game. It's a long baseball season, so you're trying to take care of business now, but make sure that you can still take care of it later. Now, of course, now is more important because you want to stay in this thing.
Jose Alvarado is now up in the bullpen for the Phillies. At the top of the order, due up for the Blue Jays. Got the changeup right there, I think.
Looks like it. That's what he got Sosa on. New little weapon. Haven't seen it as much as we may have thought coming out of spring training, but he may be turning to it a bit more now.
That's strike 3 call. Boy, what an inning for Mason Fluharty. Got Sosa, got Schwarber, and then got Turner. Froze him for strike 3 called, and it's on to the bottom of the 8th. This Sunday, you could become a multimillionaire. You could also win a trip to see the Blue Jays in New York or groceries for a year. If you're in Alberta, Nova Scotia, New Brunswick, or Ontario, get your tickets at bluejays.com/5050. Bottom 8 tied at 1. Phillies winning last night. The Blue Jays trying to even up the series here tonight. Top of the order, beginning with Vladimir Guerrero Jr. 1 for 3. Had an infield hit in the 3rd. Stuart Baroa, former Blue Jay, now a bench player for the Phillies. He's out in center now. An extremely personable young man, Stuart Baroa. The life of the party.
Yes, he is.
Guerrero would like to become the life of the party right here in this at bat. Lays off. Ball 2.
Trying to slow things down as much as possible. Started early.
Well, that's strike 2. Alex Tosi did not have the count right. That was his 3rd strike call, but then he self-corrected quickly, and now Guerrero's laughing, and now a timeout. Tosi punched him out, but it was only strike 2. Vlad is like, I know things aren't going great for me right now, but
it's when you know you're struggling.
Right. Watch Tosi.
Hee-haw.
Ooh, sorry. Two and 2. To left center field, hit fairly well, but shy of the track. Baroa is there for out number 1. So Guerrero 1 for 4, and here comes Don Mattingly, and a pitching change coming with the left-hander Alvarado up in the bullpen for the Phillies, and the left hand hitting Nathan Lucas due up for the Blue Jays. A hard thrower on his way in from the right field bullpen. You're watching Rogers Blue Jays baseball on Sportsnet. Left-hander Jose Alvarado, Joe, now enters the game in this 1-1 tie.
Well, the numbers are not inspiring. That ERA up over 5.5 in his 28 games, but he's got a high-powered sinker, and Nathan Lucas will see plenty of it. Throws them a lot to both righties and lefties. He'll mix in the cutter as well, but gear it up.
One out, the bases are empty, and it'll be Nathan Lucas. George Springer's got a helmet on. Jesus Sanchez, as good of a night as he has had, struggles more against left-handed pitching than the other left-handed hitters. So it looks like Springer could hit for Sanchez, but we'll see if that spot comes up this inning. Lucas will hit for himself and take high, ball 1. Ernie Clement is on deck. Lucas 1 for 3, had a base hit up the middle in the 1st. tell yourself as a left-handed batter when you've got a hard-throwing but occasionally erratic lefty on the mound?
Yeah, no, you just have to look right out over the plate. His arm angle's pretty high as well, so you should get a decent look. But you know with the sinker, it's coming over the top and it's going down. I think you have to eliminate the cutter and just look for that sinker out over the plate. You really have to stay in there.
Up and in.
like that.
He'll keep you on your toes, though, sometimes not trying to do that. With the stuff, with the velocity, the fact he's left-handed, if you're Lucas, are you thinking shoot it the other way, which we have seen Nathan do so much?
I think he does it so well,
yeah.
right? It's almost his swing path, his swing plane. Like that.
That'll wind up foul, though. He got jammed on that one, 2-2.
He will catch the ball out front and pull it on occasion, but he's kind of got that opposite field approach, the way the barrel lags. And that's perfectly fine. That's why he's such a good contact hitter.
Lucas has seen a lot of pitches tonight. 5 in the first, 5 in the third, 6 in the fifth, and about to see his 6th pitch here in this at bat. Grounds it up the middle. It comes up for Turner, who makes the play, 2 down. So it's going to be Ernie Clement. Actually undersold Lucas tonight. Some foul balls in there as well. Lucas has seen 26 pitches on 4 at-bats tonight. Clement is 0 for 3. He homered in last night's game.
And he has not seen 24 pitches.
No. That is not Ernie's MO. Big swing and a miss, 1-1. Louis Varland looking on, hoping to get a save situation in the top of the 9th. Now to play 1-2. We'll see how John Schneider plays it. There are 2 lefties due up to start the 9th, and Harper and Marsh. Fluharty had a very impressive 8th inning, needed only 8 pitches. Down and in.
Mason has done more than an inning, but not a ton.
You can see Springer on deck, ready to hit for Sanchez if Clement gets on. Down the left field line, it is hooking and foul.
Hoping initially that Ernie got this just high enough and could keep it fair, but you can see that ball hooking left of the line.
Alvarado sets, and again the 2-2, and he gets him. So Alvarado gets a couple of big outs, and it is on to the top of the 9th at Rogers Center in a 1-1 tie. The final game of this series comes your way tomorrow night on Sportsnet 1, and as you can tell from that headshot of Max Scherzer, he is ready to go. He told myself and Joe before the game, all systems go, feels good. Bryce Harper will be in the lineup, of course. Jesus Luzardo, a lefty, will start for the Phillies. 6:30 Eastern is your broadcast time with Blue Jays Central. Tied at 1, top 9. Here's Louis Varland. What an interesting matchup this is. Louis Varland and Bryce Harper to get things going. Harper tonight 1 for 2 with a walk. He'll be followed by Brandon Marsh and then Alec Bohm. Just missed. 2-0. And now ball 3.
Changeup, curveball, changeup. Can't find the zone early.
Missed outside. He walks Harper on 4 pitches. Not something we have seen very much at all from Varland in this spectacular season that he has had so far. Here's Marsh. Marsh is tied for second in the majors with a .333 batting average. And he has driven in the only run of the night for the Phillies tonight. Had a double in the first. That's in there. The first strike from Varland. Harper's got 5 steals in 7 tries this year. Being held by McAdoo. 0-2.
And Louis with the changeup, he can get a lot of ground balls. We'll see him use that pitch against the lefties.
Remember that first save that he got out in Anaheim?
Yes.
Came in through one pitch, right? Through a
Yes.
changeup, got a double play. 0-2. And that looked like it. A swing and a miss as he gets Marsh for out number 1.
Well, that's even better. A swing and a miss. Came right back with that pitch. Very good location down there against the lefty.
It's amazing how good that pitch has been, considering it wasn't really one of his pitches before this year, but he has.
And throwing it hard.
Yes. It's 93 with a ton of movement, and he just doesn't hang it. It's down. Here's Alec Boehm, 0 for 3. Fastball. Oh, that's inside, says Alex Tosi. And no challenge from Valenzuela. Each team still with both ABS challenges. Ground ball back to Varland. And a slow one hopper back to him, so he'll take the sure out at first. Harper to second, 2 down. Couple of righties up for the Phillies. Brad Keller and then Joan Duran is the closer. Each of them pitched last night. So you would guess Keller if it's tied, Duran if they take the lead. Here's Stott, 1 for 3, hit an infield hit in the 7th. Big lead out at second. And then this one line down the left field line by Stott into the corner. And Harper's going to come in to score. It's an RBI double for Stott, and the Phillies take the lead.
Came right back with the fastball at the bottom of the zone, and Stott just shot it down the left field line. Good piece of hitting against that high velocity. Triple digits.
Just the second earned run that Louis Varland has allowed this season. And obviously the leadoff walk critical in this. Putting Harper on, he comes in to score on the double by Stott. Here's Real Muto. So now you're going to get Duran in the bottom of the 9th. You know that. Unless Don Mattingly brings Alvarado out to maybe face a lefty, but I would think with the lead he goes right to his guy, right?
Yeah, I think you go right to the guy,
Yeah.
and I mean it's advantage to the Blue Jays because it throws their left-handers up there, but you're facing one of the best.
Right. If it's Duran, it would be Sanchez, Piniango, and Valenzuela. If it's Alvarado, maybe Springer gets involved. But now the Blue Jays have to come from behind. Down and away, bounced in, and Valenzuela keeps it in front of him to keep Stott at second.
We saw one get away from Brandon earlier in the night, but none since. That's a tough one too, ranging to your right.
Step up and no play on. Two and two, almost the identical pitch, spot, and block.
You see from that one knee, the right knee's not moving a whole lot. He's trying to shift his body as much as possible and get his glove there, and he gets it just barely into that position.
Runner goes down to first. McAdoo's got it. Charles McAdoo with a nice play to save a run. The Phillies, though, do get a run here in the top of the ninth. Nothing more thanks to McAdoo. 2-1 Phils going bottom nine. Guys, thank you. The Blue Jays need 1 to tie, 2 to win here in the bottom of the ninth. They are down 2-1. Jesus Sanchez with the home run in the 6th, the only run the Blue Jays have tonight. It'll be Sanchez, Piniango, and Valenzuela, and for the second night in a row, Joe, they will see one of the very best in Joan Duran.
Well, lots of velocity for certain. Came in and earned his 16th save of the season in last night's ball game, and he's coming right at them again, and it's going to be Jesus Sanchez leading it off, and we know that he can run into one, and this is the type of situation you're not going up there looking to get on base and string hits together. If you're Sanchez, you're trying to catch up to one of those.
Sanchez faced Duran last night, grounded out. Valenzuela, who's coming up third this inning, also faced him and grounded out. Piniango has not faced him.
Last night he threw Sanchez a first pitch splinker. Yep. That funky pitch.
Yep.
Got him to roll over to the right side.
The pitch that has splitter movement but sinker velocity.
It's unbelievable.
That's a tough combination. They got him at a deal from the Twins last year. Straw getting ready to run if somebody gets on. The Phillies got Duran from the Twins a day before the Blue Jays got Louis Varland from the Twins at the deadline last year. Sanchez looks at a fastball for a strike, and it's 0-1.
Pitch is called a strike. Batter challenge.
Sanchez is challenging, and this is not going to work out for him.
Pitch is strike. Toronto has 1 challenge remaining.
Off the end of the bat in a good spot, and it's going to be an infield hit for Sanchez. He'll take it.
Well, the difference with this pitch from the one last night, he was out front and rolled it over last night. This one, he just stayed behind it and stayed with it, going the other way. He'll take the infield hit.
And now Straw's going to run for him. Good night at the plate for Sanchez. Better speed at first now in Straw. And let's see what Yohendrick Piniango can do with Duran. Bohm just crept in a few steps at third. And now Piniango, looked like he got, because Duran was taking so long, he just maybe didn't feel comfortable. He uses his timeout right at the outset of the at-bat. You only get 1 per at-bat. After every pitch, Mark Budzinski now will go over to Miles Straw, give him whatever information they have on Duran's time to the plate. Straw's running. And a bouncer to the right side that gets through. And Straw is on his way to third. After he slid into second base, found the ball, got back up, and then went to third.
Find that baseball. They put the runner in motion. See, the shortstop is covering the bag, but Pinyango bounces it through the right side. Straw thinks he's stealing a base and then realizes the ball was hit. He's not peeking. He is trying to rip that bag. Picks it up. Blue Jays got him at the corners.
With nobody out. And now Dalton Varsho is into the game to pinch run for Pinyango, representing the winning run. The batter is Brandon Valenzuela. Infield in for the Phillies. And Real Muto with a very deliberate walk out to the mound. Looks like maybe a pitch count issue here for Duran. If this happens, you do this. If that happens, you do this. And whatever you do, don't do that. Good base runner at third. Not just a fast base runner, a good base runner.
And I think the biggest question here is nobody out. And if the ball is hit on the ground, you're going, I think, because you want them to go ahead and get the play at you at the plate, because then you're left with two base runners and only one out. You don't want to allow them to turn the double play.
What would be great is if they came up with their first hit of the series with a runner in scoring position. 0 for 10. 0 for 10 last night. 0 for 2 so far here tonight. The batter is Valenzuela. There goes Varsho. A strike taken. There's no throw. And Varsho steals second. Now does the calculus change for Straw now that a double play is out of the equation?
Yes, because now what you're doing is waiting for the ball to go through most likely. But Real Muto had a lot of trouble with this pitch. It looked like it handcuffed him. I don't know if he was thinking of coming out of there on this steal attempt, but watch right here. And he misses the ball. He gets it right off the heel of his glove, and he's feeling it.
Trainer came out, but Real Muto is waving him off, saying he's all right. Now, conversation between Don Mattingly and the home plate umpire Alex Tosi, and now the IT department's got to get involved again.
A lot of closers, they don't hold runners real well. They don't control a running game because there aren't many runners normally.
But with Straw running so well, it would have been gutsy to even throw through on that play, right?
For sure.
If it's a very slow runner with third, maybe you don't worry about it as much, throw down, but
you also have to be very sure if you are. I think Varsho is running there because they know they can steal a base. I don't think they're trying any trickery.
Right. So Valenzuela's the batter. Okamoto's on deck. Jimenez is after him. 1 to tie, 2 to win. And the 0-1 pitch. He went after it. Couldn't hold up, and it's 0-2. So you got to prepare for all that velocity, and then he can fool you with a breaking ball. Pinyango did his job. Now a spectator.
Not a pitch you'll see to left-handed hitters very often. I think that's why Valenzuela looked so awkward. Not expecting that one.
Over 41,000 here at Rogers Center, hoping the Blue Jays can find a way to pull it out here and win it. The 0-2. Bounced in, gets away from Real Muto, and here comes Straw to tie it.
take it any way that you can get it. When you're a runner on third, you can't always see the baseball as clearly. Watch Valenzuela. He's going to tell Straw, come on, come on. He's got the good angle. He knew exactly where the baseball went. Straw's off to the races. He wasn't sure initially.
Yeah, he couldn't see it. So they've tied it, and now the winning run's at third. Infield in. And it's line to left field, a base hit. And Valenzuela has walked it off for the Blue Jays. One of the very best closers in the game in Duran. Sanchez, Pinango, and Valenzuela with consecutive hits, and they even up the series with a dramatic 3-2 win.
Louis Varland has been picking up his team all season long, and tonight his team picked him up.
The kids, Joe, where would they be without the contributions they are getting from the rookies? Pinango with a hit, and then Valenzuela does it day after day after day, it seems. And another big moment for that young man.
It's a big moment and an impressive moment because, again, he's not trying to do a whole lot. He's not trying to hit a home run to right field. He's trying to put a ball in play. Good short swing going the other way for the game winner for Brandon Valenzuela.
Enjoy the moment, Brandon. And the celebration is on. They gave up one in the top half. They got two in the bottom half. And Valenzuela is on his way to the field for a live interview now with Hazel May.
Dan, thank you very much. We're live on Sportsnet. Brandon Valenzuela with the game winner tonight in Game 2 versus the Phillies. Brandon, Joan Duran is one of the best at what he does. When you faced him last night, it resulted in a ground out. What did you want to do in this particular situation in the bottom of the 9th inning?
Yeah, one guy today told me you'll live and you learn. So that's what happened today.
What do you remember? What do you remember about how he attacked you last night that may have helped you today?
Yeah, I saw the splitter last night and he was a little depthy, so I was just trying to see him up.
Listen, you took care of the offense. Dylan Cease started this one off. Dylan Cease kicked things off for you guys. In his first start off the IL, he looked like he dominated this Phillies lineup. How did he look to you? What did you like about the way he threw in this game?
I mean, yeah, we made some adjustments throughout the start. The changeup has been a lot better lately, so we started using that more as a weapon and not so much of a setup pitch, and it worked.
It absolutely worked. Can we talk a little bit about Louis Varland and just how good he's been for this ball club this year? What do you want to tell fans about just how good he is on the mound?
Yeah, this is one of those years that doesn't happen often, and we got to take advantage of it and embrace it right now.
Listen, this fan base is embracing Brandon Valenzuela. How good do you feel at the plate right now? You are on fire.
I'm just trying to help the team win no matter what. That last AV, I didn't care if I broke my bat on that fastball. I was just trying to put the ball in play.
You absolutely did, and you helped win Game 2 against the Phillies. Brandon, congratulations. We'll see you tomorrow.
Thank you. See you tomorrow.
All right, Dan, we will see you guys tomorrow as well. Back to you.
Hazel, thank you. Broken bat, no matter. Base hit, RBI, game winner. Walk-off single for Brandon Valenzuela. And the celebration is on at Rogers Center. Time now for Sportsnet Central, presented by KFC. Take it away.